the Speeding Bulletin report for February 8th to February 14th, 2008. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com, and the big news for this week is that the writer's strike is over. While it's not yet known what effect the coming end to the writer's strike will have in regards to getting the JLA movie back on track, a couple of cast members have been speaking about their roles in the upcoming movie. Megan Gale told the Sydney Morning Herald newspaper that the strike was a blessing in disguise for her as she quits her modelling career and focuses on acting, specifically her role as Wonder Woman. As they did with Superman Doomsday, La La Land Records will be releasing the soundtrack to Justice League The New Frontier on CD on March 18th. Meanwhile, the official website has been updated to include 3 new video clips showcasing some of the bonus material available on the DVD. The website's download section has also been updated. In further New Frontier news, the WB released an article highlighting Kyle MacLachlan's thoughts on voicing Superman, and another with Brooke Shields' thoughts on voicing Carol Ferris, while Newsarama.com published an interview with Stan Berkowitz discussing the process of scripting the animated movie. And lastly, Best Buy are offering an exclusive Justice League The New Frontier widescreen special edition box set, which includes a 2-disc DVD edition with the New Frontier Green Lantern action figure from DC Direct. Peter McDermott updated our Smallville episode guide with his summary of the Season 7 episode Siren, while Neal Bailey and Douglas Trumbull both wrote their reviews for the same episode. Neal and Doug were at polar opposites this week. Neal gave it a 1 out of 5, while Doug rated it a 5 out of 5. The 12th episode of Smallville Season 7 aired in the US on Thursday, February 14th, titled Fracture. This episode saw Lois follow Lex to Detroit, where Kara is found working in a restaurant. Speaking of Season 7 of Smallville, with the writer's strike finally ending this week, Al Goff confirmed for the Superman homepage that the network has asked for 5 more episodes this season, which would bring the total to 20, too short of a regular season. Jack Larson, who played Jimmy Olsen in the 1950s TV series The Adventures of Superman, recently attended the Archive of American Television's 10th anniversary party, where he participated in a video interview. Writer Steve Gerber passed away February 10th due to complications from pulmonary fibrosis. He was 60 years old. Superman fans will be familiar with Gerber's work on titles such as Superman Last Son of Earth, Superman Last Stand on Earth, A Bizarro, and The Phantom Zone. DC Comics confirmed that James Robinson is a new writer for Superman. Robinson has worked on numerous titles such as Golden Age, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, Cable, and Starman. Renato Geddes remains as the artist on the title, and WizardUniverse.com later interviewed James Robinson about coming on board as the new writer, replacing outgoing writer Kurt Busiek. Before Robinson comes on board Superman though, Keith Champagne will be doing a fill-in issue which will be adorned with this wonderful Alex Ross cover, a tribute to Action Comics #1. At last weekend's RRP meeting, DC Comics unveiled their plans for their next weekly comic book series, Trinity. Beginning in June, Trinity, which is to be written by outgoing Superman writer Kurt Busiek, will focus on DC's big 3, Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman. Dan Didio and Jeff Johns spoke with Newsarama.com about their plans for the DC Universe in 2008, and specifically about DC Universe number 0, a comic book that is designed as an entry point for where DCU is headed. The 2nd annual Metropolis, Illinois Comic Show is on across the weekend of March 1st and 2nd, from 10 AM to 6 PM on Saturday and 10 AM to 4 PM on Sunday. Visit metropoliscomicshow.com for more details. Comic books we reviewed this week were Supergirl number 26, which was reviewed by Jeffrey Bridges, who said, "I have no explanations for any of this, it's maddening, epic fail." He rated it a 1 out of 5. Barry Fryman reviewed Countdown to Final Crisis 12, giving it a 2 out of 5, stating, "The convergence feels a bit forced to me. Get thee to Apocalypse now. Why? Because we're on issue 12 and coming in for a landing." Justice League Unlimited number 42 was reviewed by Adam DeChannel, who said, "Holy cow, I can't really express how blown away I was," and he gave this issue a 5 out of 5. Neal Bailey reviewed Justice Society of America number 12, giving it a 4 out of 5 rating, saying, "I thought I'd never say this, but I think Jeff Johns might have bitten off more than he can chew here." And lastly, Neal reviewed Infinity Inc. number 6, saying, "The first half of this book is Milligan prancing the characters around as if they are amusing, which they're not. The second half is an introduction of a villain over 8 to 12 pages that could have been done in 3 max. He rated it a 1 out of 5. Superman comics shipping this week from February 13th include Countdown to Final Crisis 11, JLA Classified number 52, Legion of Superheroes in the 31st Century number 11, Superman 673, and Justice Volume 2 hardcover. Toy Fair Magazine 128 will contain details on Mattel's 2008 plans for Justice League Unlimited action figures. ActionFigureInsider.com reported that, among other things, Mattel will release at least 13 new characters this year, along with some fan-requested repaints and redecos in the fall. Barry Fryman wrote an excellent review of the book Superman vs. Hollywood, How Fiendish Producers, Devious Directors and Warring Writers Grounded an American Icon, by Jake Rosson. This book is well worth checking out, as it covers every aspect of Superman in non-comics media. Superman homepage writer Aaron Thal handed in another book review this time, looking at the young adult Smallville novel titled Greed. Unfortunately, Aaron didn't like it at all, giving it a 1 out of 5. Superman homepage reviewer James Lance continues reviewing story arcs from the 1940 Superman radio series, delving into the Metropolis football team Poison story from the late 1941. Speaking of our retro reviews, Jeffrey Taylor continues reviewing episodes from Superman the Animated Series, finishing off the Blast from the Past 2-part episode, which saw Superman up against Phantom Zone criminals. He rated it a 3 out of 5. And that's all the news for Superman fans from the week, February 8th to February 14th. I'm Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com.
Okay, alright, I'm back from my bidding last week. Stinking Empire. But yes, anyway, to continue a recurring theme, same guitar right here, a week later, isn't that amazing? To continue the recurring theme that I had last week of the fact that people don't like it when you make a mistake or error, I wanted to comment about the Legion. I just did a review of Action a couple of weeks back where I poked fun at the fact that Superman flew even though he was under a red sun. And I got about 20, 25 emails from people. Neal, didn't you see the power ring? Neal, didn't you see the power ring? Did you see the power ring, Neal? Neal, he has the power ring. He's powering, 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 powering. I got a power ring around here somewhere too. I can't fly. No, I'm kidding. So I guess that means that I was poking fun unprofessionally at Jeff Johns as well, huh? No, I like Jeff Johns, and Jeff Johns knows I like Jeff Johns because I interviewed him and told him that. But, yeah, the Legion flight ring thing is a gaffe. I also thought that Subject 17 was beaten to death by Superman. That was a gaffe too. And the reaction to me being human, as I kind of am, is in generally on the internet for people to go insane. And of course, me saying this on a video is only going to make them more insane. Like, oh, you're a stinky butt. Yeah, well, I say, and again. And that is my response now to anyone who just wants to, you know, rip into somebody for having an opinion. But back to the Legion, which is the point of this video. I don't get the Legion. I've been trying to. I've been really trying to. And Jeff Johns, if anyone could make me really dig the Legion. But I read Superboy's Legion a couple more years back, and I've read some classic Legion stories, and I've tried to get into it. There's just far too many characters and far too little character, if that makes sense, for me to kind of get into it. And I suppose I have to have been following it in the long run. My buddy Michael, my cook, actually a couple of years ago, gave me a very long, detailed, great explanation of the Legion and tried to get me into it. And I talked to my comic book guy all the time, and I could just never really get it. There's just, like, Matter Lad, Lightning Lad, you know? And I understand that the comic is dragging a lot, or the cartoon is dragging a lot of people into it, so I better get on the stick with that if I want to stay abreast of things. But I don't know, I've just been trying to understand it. So if you guys have any idea why the Legion is so cool and what I'm missing, feel free to email me. I'm trying to understand the middlemen too, and I want to get a grasp as to why you guys like these things so that I can better commentate on it. So I don't get beat by stormtroopers.